Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I came across this story and I felt that I should talk about it because I think the CIF are very inconsistent when it comes to their rules. They will strip a female athlete of a state championship because they don't like the way she celebrated her win, but at the same time they will allow a male athlete to dominate the women's division and walk away with 3 medals. Make it make sense. So let me know what you think about this story. I think it's a little harsh and I really feel for this young girl. So let's have a look. So this young girl from California, she competes in 400 meters and her dad is her coach, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Her dad coaches her. She won the state championship, ran over to him, and she was disqualified for the way she celebrated. A California high school track star's post-race celebration that paid homage to an Olympic gold medalist resulted in her disqualification and the stripping of her state championship title by outraged officials. North Salinas High School sophomore, Clara Adams, had just crossed the finish line as the winner of the 400 meters at Buchanan High School in Clovis on Saturday, when the excited teen ran over to her father to celebrate. Her dad handed her a fire extinguisher. I believe it was their own fire extinguisher they brought with them. He handed it to her, and then she went and sprayed her feet to signify that her feet were on fire. I laughed when I heard it. Now, the officials were outraged about this. Apparently, when she did the celebration, there were no other athletes around her, and the athlete she was paying homage to was Maurice Greene. He did the same thing, or at least his colleagues would spray his feet as he crossed the finish line. So let's take a look. This is what she was emulating.
Was looking for. Here go the shoes. The wind. They're on fire.
So you saw there, that's what she was emulating. There was nothing malicious behind what she did. So basically she ends up losing a state championship or having it stripped from her. Meanwhile, we've been begging for the CIF to do the right thing and ensure that male athletes do not compete in women's competitions and take medals from girls. They've got no problem taking a medal away from this young lady, though, because of the way she celebrated. So apparently it's against the code of conduct. But what was stopping them from just giving her a warning? What was stopping them from giving her a warning or disciplining her in a way that doesn't take away from her state championship? She won that fairly. Unlike some people, what she did, the celebration had no bearing on the legitimacy of her win. It did not. So I just think the punishment is way too harsh. I mean, look at this. Look at this young lady. She is devastated. And her father, you can imagine how upset he is over this because, you know, this is their thing. This is the thing they do together. He's her coach. Look at that. Look at those tears. She is devastated. And I don't like to see this. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not getting. Maybe there was some sort of health and safety issue. I don't know. But imagine if this young girl, and I hope she does, I hope she makes it to the Olympics, but she's going to look back and remember what the CIF did to her. And it's going to extinguish her flame. And we don't want that. We want athletes who have these quirky celebrations. I love it. Everybody remembers Maurice Greene for that. And that's what inspired her. And we shouldn't deter young athletes from expressing themselves and having their own quirks. We should be encouraging that. So her dad's name is David. He handed his daughter a fire extinguisher. And away from her competitors, she sprayed on her shoes as if they were on fire. I find that charming. I actually do. I love it. I found it pretty amusing when I heard. However, the moment was quickly extinguished by California Intergalactic Federation officials who viewed Adams' actions as unsportsmanlike and disqualified her. I don't know what's going through my mind right now, Adams told Mercury News. I'm disappointed and I feel robbed. I'm in shock. They yelled at me and told me, "We're not letting you on the podium." They took my moment away from me. That decision was handed down minutes before the young track star was about to run the 200 meters. But because she was disqualified for what was ruled as an unsportsmanlike act, Adams was not allowed to run the race where she was one of the favourites to win. What? So she gets disqualified from the 400 meters and is denied a shot at the 200 meters on top of that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not too harsh? Please let me know what you think down below, but I'm really, really stumped by this. Maurice Greene is aware about this. Maurice Greene is aware of what happened. The sprinter who took home a gold for the US in the 100 metres and 4x100 metre relay in the 2000 Sydney Olympics said he feels CIF officials should reconsider their decision. Well, there you go. If it was away from everyone and not interfering with anyone, I would say reinstate her, the Olympian said. I hope that cheers her up a little, knowing that Maurice Greene, is fighting her corner and speaking in support of her. I really hope that cheers her up. But this is so unnecessary, in my opinion. And then the father said that even some of the CIF officials loved it too. The ones that were in the booth, it was just the ones who were offended that have caused this. And I can't believe that even the 200 meters she's out of as well. So the code of conduct says to be a good sport, teach and model class, be gracious in victory and accept defeat with dignity, encourage student athletes to give fallen opponents a hand, compliment extraordinary performance and show sincere respect in pre and post game rituals. Okay. So I did find the footage of them doing the interview with KSBW. So let's take a look.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 16-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration. And CIF officials made that about them. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. The booth, CIF booth went crazy. They loved it. But those few guys in those jackets, they took offense to it, didn't like it, and they made a decision based on emotions.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title.
My gosh. Now, I would say it probably startled them. Maybe they didn't see it coming. I don't know. They were probably startled. And I would say overreacted. They didn't even let her do it for long. But this is what sports is about, man. Let our athletes develop their celebration style and all of that. That's how I see it. This is all about entertainment. An athlete does things like that. They're more entertaining. Sponsorships come their way because people come out to watch them when they're able to not just perform on the track, but also athletes with, great personalities. They also attract a lot of viewership.
It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Greene, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
When I heard, because it happened and then people just started calling me, oh, this girl who just won the 400 redid your celebration. I was like, huh, what? If it was away from everyone and not really interfering with anybody, I would say reinstate her.
One clear infraction was Clara's father hopping the railing onto the track after the race, but says he only did that because of how CIF officials were treating his daughter.
There's a CIF rule saying you can't come over the wall, you can't be on the infield, which is a rule respected. But at this point, I explained before about being a coach and a father wearing the different hats. I saw an official grab my daughter by the arm. They were yelling in her face. When he grabbed her by the arm, I went over the wall at that point. I'm father now. I'm not coaching anymore. I'm over the wall.
Absolutely. That's her dad. I'm sorry. Who grabbed my daughter? I want to be right next to her in that moment. She's probably thinking what did I do? This is my celebration. We planned this. And you're acting as if I burned the place down.
Now, the true fastest 400-meter runner in the state is back home without a medal. And even if the CIF is to reinstate her as the champion, she never got that moment of being crowned a champion.
Sorry, I don't mean to make it about this topic, but you know who else doesn't get that moment for the longest time? the girls who have to compete against boys, they have that moment stolen from them too.
Everything goes in my favor. In regards of like getting my title back, I'll still never get that moment back, like standing on the podium as a sophomore. I'll never get that back because they took it from me.
Clara was also disqualified from competing in the 200-meter race because of that celebration. And we did some research, analyzed 20 years of state championships, found 0 other times where someone was disqualified and stripped of a title for unsportsmanlike conduct. We reached out to the CIF, haven't heard anything back. We also put up a poll on our Instagram, Dan, asking our viewers if they believed she should have been banned for this or not. Over 1,000 votes and counting, 87% of people saying she shouldn't have been banned for this. And the support from the community has been overwhelming so far.
And she's an immense talent, and she's only a sophomore.
Yeah, she's going to come back stronger and better than ever. They better watch out for Clara Adams.
You bet. All right. Thank you very much, Jay.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. My heart breaks for this young lady. What a talent. And even if she broke the rules or whatever, just give her some grace. There was nothing malicious in what she did. She wasn't mocking her fellow athletes and, doing it in their face to mock them. And this was her celebration. That's what she came up with. Every young athlete dreams of how they're going to celebrate their victory. I did track and field in school. Every young athlete thinks about that, especially when they have a favourite athlete who celebrates a certain way. You do emulate your favourite athlete. So I don't think she should be punished for that. Like I said, a warning would have sufficed. 200 metres coming up. We cannot have that happen again. They could have said something like that to her. You startled some of the officials. Please don't let it happen again. No fire extinguishers on the track, please. Something. But yeah, CIF continue to do the same old thing. I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. So I really hope she is reinstated. Maurice Greene has spoken. Come on. Maurice Greene himself has spoken in support of Clara. So come on now. And I hope she does that celebration at the Olympics one day. If the Olympics are okay with it, why are the CIF making a big deal out of it? So I hope she keeps going. She doesn't let this discourage her. Put it down to a learning experience. But she performed well. She won. More than likely, or she was the favourite at least for the 200 metres. She's on the right track. No pun intended. So I'm looking forward to seeing where she goes with her career in sports. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.